Why do I heat Tosai? Size, growth, fat reserves, thrive, or survive, or die. I'll go through these in turn. There's also a difference with the size of the koi. So what do I mean by this statement? Tosai have an underdeveloped immune system, so are much more susceptible to parasites' illness rather than larger koi. Larger koi have built up an immune system over the years to fend off attacks and illness better than smaller koi. Larger koi also have bigger reserves of fat. This makes sense to me, as koi going into the winter needs the reserves in place to get it through our long winters. Fat koi only need to be starved to get it back into shape. So it's not exactly rocket science, and so can go longer without feeding. I prefer a koi that is a bit fat going into winter, so that it has the reserves to grow and survive the long English winter. So when it comes out of winter, it is the correct body shape. The problem is with young koi that they put all their reserves into growing and not into fat reserves to get them through a winter. So if you have a Tosai, it has put all its energy into growing in the summer and will not have any spare energy reserves to get it through the 4 long winter months. In England, if a koi survives the winter, there's still a couple of months of colder water temperatures in the spring to get through. Looking at the year as a whole in the UK, 1/3 is winter, where the koi are just surviving with very low pond temperatures in unheated ponds. It is very disappointing when you post a video on YouTube having spent hours making it, only to see it has been watched by hundreds, but no one has bothered to like or subscribe. So please make my day, koi keepers, and hit the subscribe and like buttons now. Thank you. 50% of the growth in a koi's life is in the first year, with 25 occurring in the second year. So 75% of the growth in a koi occurs in the first 2 years of their lives. The remaining 25% makes up for the rest of the koi's growth over its whole lifespan. Or to look at it another way, the koi's growth potential diminishes by 50% every passing year. If we take a sansai, it will still grow, but the potential is only 12%, whereas with a nisai, it would be 25%, and with tosai, it would be 50%. Therefore, the greatest potential for growth is with tosai. All we need to do is to provide the ideal conditions for the koi to thrive in. I believe it is these first 2 years of a koi's life that most benefit from heating. Also, any gain in those first 2 years will reflect as a percentage gain throughout the koi's life. Koi can survive without food and without heated ponds and without problems. However, koi cannot thrive in such conditions. If you want your koi to thrive, you need to give them the conditions that they can thrive in. Warm, good quality water, good food. These are all needed for your koi to thrive. This is of paramount importance with smaller koi. After all, they are just like babies and need a lot of TLC. You are welcome to ignore this advice, buy your tosai in the autumn, throw it in your unheated pond without food for 3 months, and fish it out dead in the spring. Unfortunately, the koi has no choice where it lives. It is your choice whether the koi will thrive or survive or die.